Success, true financial success, is rarely about doing more. Often it is about doing less. It is about the mistakes you avoid rather than the brilliant moves you make. As we look toward the year 2026, the world will likely be louder than ever. There will be new technologies, new trends, and new pressures to spend money to show the world that you are doing well. But if you were to sit down with the most successful investors in history, they would tell you a secret. Wealth is what you do not see. Wealth is the nice car not purchased, the diamond not bought, the first-class upgrade passed over. It is money that has not yet been converted into things. We live in an age where it is very easy to look rich, but surprisingly difficult to actually be rich. The difference lies in discipline. In 2026, the temptation to consume will be everywhere. But if your goal is freedom, if your goal is to sleep soundly at night without worrying about the bills, then you must adopt a different mindset. You must learn to say no to the things that drain your future to pay for your present. Today, we are going to walk through 5 specific things you should consider stopping buying if you want to build genuine, lasting wealth. These aren't just physical items. They are habits and mindsets that keep good people from becoming financially free. Let us begin by understanding the root of the problem. Why do we buy things we do not need? It is a question that requires deep honesty. Most of the time, we are not buying a product. We are buying a feeling. We are trying to satisfy what we call an outer scorecard. We want our neighbors, our colleagues, or strangers on the internet to look at us and think, that person has made it. But this is a trap. It is a treadmill that never stops. You buy the new phone, and for a week you feel successful. Then a newer model arrives, or your friend buys something better, and that feeling evaporates. You are back at the start, but your bank account is smaller. The wise investor focuses on an inner scorecard. They ask themselves, am I doing well by my own standards? Am I secure? Rather than, do I look rich to the world? The financial struggles many face in 2026 will not come from a lack of income, but from an inability to distinguish between need and want. When you tie your self-worth to your possessions, you give your power away to the marketplace. You become a servant to your things. Every dollar you spend on a status symbol is a dollar that cannot work for you. It is a soldier you have sent away from your army, never to return. To get rich, you must stop trying to impress people who, frankly, probably aren't paying that much attention anyway. The first thing to reconsider buying in 2026 is a brand new car. Now, we all need transportation. We need to get to work and visit our families. But there is a profound difference between a reliable vehicle and a status symbol that destroys your net worth. When you purchase a brand new car, you are buying an asset that creates a steep loss the moment you drive it off the lot. It is said that a new car loses a significant percentage of its value in the first minute of ownership. If you were to buy a stock that you knew would drop 20% in value instantly, you would call it a terrible investment. Yet we do this with vehicles every few years. Many people spend a fortune on cars to feel safe or to feel important. But ask yourself, is the feeling of that new leather worth the months or years of your life you had to work to pay for it? A wise approach is to buy reliability, not flashiness. Let someone else pay for that initial depreciation. Buy a car that is 2 or 3 years old. It looks almost the same. It drives the same. But it leaves thousands of dollars in your pocket. That capital, the money you save, is the seed corn for your future fortune. Do not eat your seed corn by trading it for metal and rubber that will eventually rust in a junkyard. The second thing you must absolutely stop buying is money. That sounds strange, doesn't it? But when you carry credit card debt, that is exactly what you are doing. You are buying money at a very high price. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. When you buy things on credit that you cannot afford to pay off immediately, you are positioning yourself on the wrong side of the mathematical equation. You are working for the bank. You are taking the labor of your future self. The hours you'll work next month and next year and spending them today, usually on things that will be gone by the time the bill arrives. If you want to be rich in 2026, you must declare war on interest payments. If you cannot pay for it in cash, you generally cannot afford it. This requires patience. It requires the ability to delay gratification. It is not exciting to wait until you have the cash, but it is the only way to ensure that your money grows. If you are paying 15% or 20% interest on a credit card, there is no investment in the world that can consistently beat that. Your best investment is paying off that debt. Stop buying the illusion that you can have it all now. Freedom is far more valuable than instant satisfaction. The third thing to stop buying is lottery tickets. I do not just mean the paper tickets at the gas station. I mean speculation disguised as investing. In 2026, there will be a new hot stock. There will be a new cryptocurrency. There will be a promised algorithm that guarantees easy money. It is human nature to want to get rich quick. It is exciting. It gets the adrenaline flowing. But real investing is not supposed to be exciting. Real investing should be like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. If you want excitement, take $800 and go to Las Vegas. But do not confuse that with building wealth. When you buy something simply because you hope someone else will pay more for it tomorrow, you are not investing. You are gambling. You are relying on the greater fool theory. A wise investor buys value. They buy a piece of a business that produces something real. They look at the long term, over 10 or 20 years, not 10 or 20 minutes. Stop buying into the hype. Stop buying things you do not understand. If you cannot explain how an asset makes money to a 12-year-old, you probably shouldn't own it. Stick to what is simple, proven, and understandable. It may seem boring, but boring is what builds empires. The fourth item to stop buying is the label. We live in a marketing-driven society that tells us price is value. We are taught that if something costs 10 times more, it must be 10 times better. Often, this is simply not true. Whether it is designer clothing, luxury furniture, or high-end gadgets, you are often paying a premium for the reputation of the company, not the quality of the product. Now, there's nothing wrong with quality. Buying a good pair of shoes that last 10 years is a smart decision. But buying a pair of shoes just because they have a specific logo on the side is an ego decision. The wealthy, the truly wealthy, are often incredibly frugal when it comes to these things. They understand that money has a job to do. Its job is to reproduce. Every time you overpay for a brand name, you are firing your employees, your dollars. Consider the generic brand. Consider the functional option. Ask yourself, does this product perform the function I need? If the answer is yes, why pay extra for the label? That difference in price, if invested in a low-cost index fund, could grow into a significant sum over 20 years. Do not let your ego dictate your spending. Let your logic drive your wallet. The fifth thing to stop buying is the accumulation of small, recurring leaks. We often focus on the big purchases, the house, the car, but a ship can be sunk by 1,000 small holes just as easily as one big one. In 2026, the subscription model is everywhere. You subscribe to music, to movies, to software, to gym memberships you do not use, to delivery services. Individually, they seem like nothing. It's only $10 a month, we say. But when you add up 5 or 6 of these, you are talking about hundreds or thousands of dollars a year. And if you invested that money instead, over a lifetime, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is often called the latte factor, but it applies to anything that drains your account automatically. The problem is not the coffee. The problem is the lack of awareness. We sign up and forget. We drift. A wealthy life requires intention. You must wake up and look at where your money is going. Audit your life. Cancel the things that do not bring you value. Stop buying access to things you do not use. Be ruthless with your recurring expenses, because they are the termites of your financial house. They eat away at your foundation while you are sleeping. Let me share a brief thought to illustrate this. Imagine a man who wants to sit in the shade. He goes to the market and sees a large, beautiful umbrella for sale. It is expensive, flashy, and colorful. He buys it, sets it up, and sits in the shade. But the wind comes and breaks the umbrella. So he goes back and buys another one. He spends his whole life buying umbrellas, always working to pay for the next one. Now, imagine his neighbor. The neighbor takes a small seed, an acorn, and plants it in the ground. It looks like nothing. For years, it provides no shade at all. The neighbor has to water it and care for it. The first man laughs, saying, "Why are you working so hard for nothing? Look at my colorful umbrella." But 20 years later, the neighbor has a mighty oak tree. It provides shade not just for him, but for his children and his grandchildren. It withstands the wind. It requires no more money. The umbrellas are the things we buy. The cars, the clothes, the gadgets, they provide temporary comfort but wear out. The tree is your capital. It is the money you saved and invested by not buying the umbrella. Planting the tree takes patience. It takes discipline. You have to endure the sun for a while, but eventually, the shade it provides is permanent. In 2026, decide to be the neighbor who plants the tree. So, how do we apply this? We have discussed what not to do, but action requires a plan. Here are 3 simple steps you can take starting today. First, adopt the 24-hour rule. If you see something you want to buy that is not a necessity, force yourself to wait 24 hours. If it is a large purchase, wait 30 days. You will find that in most cases, the urge to buy fades, the emotion passes, and your logic returns. This simple pause can save you thousands. Second, invest in yourself. The best asset you will ever own is your own ability to earn. Instead of buying things, buy knowledge, buy books, learn a new skill. In a changing economy, your skills are inflation-proof. No one can tax your talent or steal your knowledge. Third, automate your savings. Make it so you never see the money in the first place. Have a portion of your income go directly into an investment account before it ever hits your checking account. If you do not see it, you will not spend it on things you do not need. You will learn to live on the remainder. This is how you pay yourself first. We live in a world that shouts at us to buy, to upgrade, to consume. It takes great character to stand still and say, "I have enough." Getting rich in 2026 is not about finding a magic trick. It is about simple, timeless wisdom. It is about spending less than you earn. It is about avoiding debt. It is about understanding that the best things in life, health, good relationships, peace of mind, cannot be bought in a store. Money is just a tool to give you independence. Do not trade that independence for a garage full of metal or a closet full of fabric. If this message helped you think more clearly about your money and your future, you may want to stay with the channel. We are here to build wisdom slowly and surely. Subscribe if you would like to join us on this journey. Remember, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Be patient, be disciplined, and trust the process.